My name is KJ Joy. I'm part of Society for Promoting Participative Ecosystem Management, SOPPECOM. One of the important challenges when you talk about equity or equitable distribution of water is that the concept itself is not understood very clearly, or different people carry different meanings to it. If you look at the policy documents also today talk about equity. Now their understanding of equity is that all those people who have land in the irrigation command or the surface irrigation projects, every land should have equal right. So that means all the land within the service area of a project should get access to water as per the design. That is equity, what they call equity within the command. But people like us talk about equity not in that sense, though it is very important, because in many of the irrigation systems also, if your land is located in the tail end of the project, then you don't get access to water. So ensuring access to all parcels of land within the command area is an important and a forward-looking step. But when people like us talk about equity, we say that the water right or entitlement should not go with land, but it should go with the livelihood needs of the people. So, for example, water right should be, or water entitlement should be tied to how many people you have in the family, for example. And there are some social experience around it, in Maharashtra especially. So we have been also working on equitable access to water, saying that certain minimum access to water should be guaranteed for everybody, so that their livelihood activity can be continued, whether it is farming, agriculture, or any other artisan work and things where water has an important role to play. So this is the concept, or this is what we are trying to ground it. Now once we accept equity in principle, there could be different ways of operationalizing it. It's not that we have to have a top-down understanding about that. And different communities, depending on their context, they work out different arrangements. Bottom line is that everybody should get access to certain amount of water. Now how much is that water? That can be negotiated depending on how much is available, what is culturally and socially acceptable to people, etc. But at least we should make this step. So that is what I think we'll call. So the first impediment or first constraint is that how do you create this common understanding about people, saying that water is a natural resource, water is a common pool resource, and everybody should have a right in that, and only then we can sustainably manage water resources. The second challenge which I find is that most of our policy and the legal regimes around water is not in line with equity. So probably then we need to change some of those policy formulations or policy directions, and also some of the legal regimes around water. Because if you look at groundwater, then it is still operates under the private property regime and not as a common pool resource. So how do you bring water as mainly as a common pool resource so that everybody can have access? And if you have to even sustainably manage water, then water needs to be treated as a common pool resource and things. Third, I think we also need to work with communities, because there are different levels of fragmentation within the society. There are class issues, there is caste, there is patriarchy. So there is whole question of historically given inequities in the society. So then how do you make them aware about these issues? So water literacy is an important thing. And also saying that everybody getting access to water is also an important thing as a human, as a right to water, or human right to water, as a value. So how do we take this to communities, work with them, and also work out arrangements and negotiations at the village level, or the whatever the unit we are talking about. So for that you need a lot of capacity building. The data related to water should be accessible to everybody so that they know how much water is there. These are the three important challenges which I find, and you need more agencies or civil society organizations taking up this challenge. Today in the water sector, there are only very few organizations who talk about equitable access to water and things. So how do we get more people into this who can work with communities on this issue? And they need support too to continue the work.